Hey guys, so in today's video, we will be talking about Footnote to Youth by Jose Garcia Villa.
Introduction. The short story Footnote to Youth by Jose Garcia Villa is one of the literary pieces that mirrors the life cycle of a man depending on the decision he came up to. Thus, it is necessary to include this literary piece not only for high school students to study but also for those in tertiary level. Jose Garcia Villa's Footnote to Youth tackles the responsibilities and realities that come with marriage in the family life. Definitely, Footnote to Youth is considerably timeless. The title itself suggests an afterthought. It is something that we should consider carefully, for it depicts real-world scenarios. According to the English dictionary, a footnote is a note at the bottom of a book page that provides more detailed information about something that has already been mentioned on that page. In relation to this story, Footnote to Youth provided us with additional information about the youth that we would not have known from the story's first glance.
So here is the brief explanation of the movie.
Summary. In Footnote to Youth by Jose Garcia Villa, Dodong asserts his supposed maturity and marries Taeyang at the age of 17. He thinks they are old enough to take on this responsibility, but after they have several children, they both bemoan the dissolution of their youth and the dreams that came along with it. Taeyang wonders how things could have been if she'd married another of her suitors. At the end, Dodong's son, Blas, approaches his father, wanting to marry at about the same age, even though Dodong doesn't want Blas to make the same mistake he did. However, history ends up repeating itself.
On the next part, we will be talking about the group's reflections and claims.
Footnote to Youth focuses on the possibility of teen marriage. This story focuses on the most prevalent issue facing young people today. Being in love involves many aspects of life that we must take into consideration. Many people should think twice before getting married young, since, given everything that has been going on in our society, we can come to regret it. Marriage is a holy rite that should only be performed by two individuals who have grown to love one another. Footnote to Youth also depicts the difficulties of marrying young without financial, emotional, or mental stability. Young people, not only in this modern era, but also in previous eras, have a tendency to become engrossed in their own fantasies about love and desires. Without education, young people tend to focus on less realistic things other than preparing for their future. As previously stated, lack of financial support, embarrassment, failure in family planning, and most importantly, regrets fill the life of an early marriage.
And next will be the critical analysis of the movie.
Critical analysis. Many parents today are not in favor of early marriage. This is because they know that married life is difficult. It's true that most of teenagers today who got married are experiencing hardships in life. Footnote to Youth is the title of the story. It is said that it's Footnote to Youth because it is a brief reminder of the Filipinos, especially the youth, of what a real life could be today. It also indicates the sources or the causes why you act this way. It furthermore adds comment whether it is a positive or a negative on today's generation. Yes, it is suitable to the story because it gives a warning for those apathetic youth that once committed mistake because of their stubbornness. The story is all about Dodong, who got married despite of his father's objection. Parents care for their children, and that includes thinking about their children's future life and in this story, it was portrayed that parents do not interfere with what their children desire to do. However, it still pains them to see that their children make a decision and choose a life that is not so ideal in the future. To conclude this criticism, we'd like to point out that we have an unrealistic view of love and marriage during our youth. If young people would just wait and prepare a little longer, their perspectives and the way they deal with life and decisions would be far superior to what this literary piece conveyed. Supporting sentences and evidence. The title of the short story, Footnote to Youth, revolves around the prospect of teen marriage. It is a story of Dodong who made a mistake in the past and ended up in an unhappy life, and he did not want his son to be like him. The title Footnote to Youth is suitable because it serves as a note or a reminder that the life of having your own family in a young age will not be easy as cake. The story symbolizes youth as overzealous and emotional. It is an age of rash decision and unstoppable desires. On the other hand, marriage and middle age are symbolized with responsibilities, anxiety, and regrets. The family structure is designed to alleviate such anxiety and build a platform for mutual understanding and care.
And finally, the conclusion.
Conclusion. The story Footnote to Youth gives us a realization about decision making. It encourages the young to not let hormones and emotions get the better of them and rue the consequences. It calls attention to the longevity of life and not letting youthful mistakes become the burden of old age. It also speaks about the trials of marriage, and it demands sacrifices which one should be willing to offer if the marriage is based on trust and love. It also portrays youth as a time of ignorance and inevitable rash decisions, as well as romanticism and dreamful sweetness.
And that's all for today's video. Bye!